Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for this pick a card reading, it is channeled messages from Metatron. What Metatron would like for you to know. And so for those that don't know Metatron, he's in, how do I explain? He's an archangel, and he is the voice of God. Like, he records and writes down everything. He's not so much in the Hebrew Bible, but there's a couple mentions of him throughout a whole bunch of sacred texts. And so he's known as Enoch, one of the first humans here. And the story is that he reincarnated, that he was a good-hearted man, right? And he just always did right, and he ascended to angel status. And so now Metatron, he stands above us, and he's kind of in control of the energy and everything that goes on within Earth, and maybe even universe. Just the energies that he's God's messenger, pretty much. And so he does have a symbol. You might have heard of Metatron's cube, and there's a picture of that. And what Metatron's cube is, it's a 3D cube, and within that sacred geometry shape, you can find every single shape within the universe, and that's even from crystals. Each crystal has a different shape, geometric shape that it's made up of. Even just that we can go all into. But from the plants and nature to us as humans and our bones and DNA, like all those shapes can be found within Metatron's cube. It's pretty fascinating, actually. And so, messages from Metatron, what he would like to share with you. And so just take a deep breath, ground yourself, and check out the cards. Hey Pile One, this is your reading for what information does Metatron want to share with you. And so on yours, you had what is this? Totally, I have so many crystals that it's a blue topaz. And so what's really cool about this, and I don't know if it's going to pick up on the screen, but etched on the side here, it's so super tiny that I don't even know how it exists, but there's a heart on it. So let's see here. Maybe you can see. No, it's not showing, but it's really cool. And whenever I look into it as well, there are so much going on inside in the depths. And yeah, I can get lost in this crystal forever and just give you all the messages for that. But let's just get into your cards. So blue topaz is really good for, it's just clearing. Obviously, blue is associated with the throat chakra, but this one has a heart on it. So for me, I always use this whenever I just need to speak my heart clearly. And so the message or the main card that you got from the Metatron pile is blessings and thanks. It's an abundant universe. And on it, we got the cornucopia. And so the cornucopia is usually associated with the season fall. And I'm hearing that fall was a really good time for you guys, Pile One. That you've been very due diligent, that you've planted seeds in so many different areas, and that each crop kind of came to fruition. And if it didn't, this is a message saying, like, to keep sowing those seeds. Like, it will come, because you are part of an abundant universe. And that's the thing with energy, especially with Metatron, and he kind of is in control of the energy and the flow. If he's telling you it's abundant, it's abundant because he's the man that knows. And so I'm just getting all the other cards out here as well. I did a bit of talking today, so I can find my throat's starting to go a little scratchy, so maybe that'll be good for that. So it's an abundant universe, and it's saying, for everything that you've received, remember to give thanks, right? And to give that praise back to whatever it is that you're thankful for, right? You don't have to think of thank the angels or a higher God. You can just thank the sun for shining. You could thank your mom for giving you a call. Like, just the more and more that you can express that contentment of what you have. And I'm seeing someone hold a really small piece of stale bread, and they're just like, yes, thank you so much for this. Whereas most people would be not happy about that. They're like, I want a hamburger, I want, but just knowing that you could have nothing, right? So even if it's stale and old, it's like, yes, I still got this. And that will be the catalyst of more blessings to come. Then you get into the new options of the fruits and the vegetables and the wheat and the money, because there's a little bit of coinage here. And so it's just one step at a time, being thankful for even the mishaps that happened, right? And so I'm getting that seasons really this year really meant something to you. Like the fall. So I'm looking over here, and I quickly looked to the left, and so we'll just start on the next card, because I'm really getting that fall was a very abundant time for you. And as I looked here, it's the name of the cards, but it's the Prince of Spring. And it says, charming, self-confident, passionate, and restless. Immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. So pile one, I don't know what you started in the spring, but it seemed like it really filled your cup. It gave you that oomph, that pep, that, just inspiration for life. It kind of gave you a purpose to wake up, and that's a blessing on itself. You woke up. Thank you, right? So many of us like, it's Monday or something like that, and we really gotta start being thankful for what we have. I'm gonna hold this as I do it, right? But as I get into the next cards, over here I have awakening, which would be the Hanged Man, but they changed this card to be awakening. And it says, change the way you're looking at the situation, embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. But it was in reverse, right? So this card over here is saying like quick action, go, go, go. And this one's saying you're seeing things. You saw things so clear, and you created this path, right? I just think you saw something and you went for it. And it was meant to be. It was divinely balanced and guided, and you're getting all these blessings because of all the hard work that you did in the past. And so you need to know you don't always have to work yourself ridiculously to the bone, but the reason that you're getting the reward and the everything because of it is because you followed your guidance and intuition. That's what got you the abundance, right? You got the message. Metatron said, hey, here's some ideas that I think would be really good if you were to plant these. And if you nurture them and care for them and love them, I promise you that they will be abundant. And you were like, hell yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And you did it. And it's you listening to the call, and the message is the greatest. That building your intuition will be the best abundance that you ever can have. Because over here, this is an interesting one. So over here, we have the 10 of rods, 10 of wands, but it was in reverse. So in this is like someone being so defeated, and they've just had so many lessons and burdens put on them that they pack up all their sticks and they go home. But you didn't. No matter what got thrown at you, you were like, I'm building this mountain. And so now that I said mountain, it makes sense. Because I was looking at this one, and I was like, what else in this card? Sorry, I just want to get a bit closer. There we go. And it was a waterfall or a cliff. I kept getting drawn to the cliff. That, and it's in the mountains. And so you were faced with a lot of adversity. I am getting that. But you were like, I'm building my own castle, right? And you were like, no matter what was thrown at you from the top of this, you're like, it's not going to stop me. And that's your fortune, just growing and growing and growing, because the word for you is tenacity. No matter what got thrown at you, you just kept giving it, and you're like, nope, I know what I meant to do. I'm in the right place. This is divinely guided. And so now that you have your cake, you get to eat it too. And that's the thing. It's now the time to enjoy. It's the time to eat the cake and be happy and merry and thankful. Because now we have the card beauty. And everything's flowered, everything's blossomed. She gets to enjoy it. But the other card that goes with beauty is the gratitude, which goes with this, an abundance of blessings. So Metatron, I feel like this is just such a straight, simple cut. Hey, you did the work, you're doing great, be happy, be thankful, but there's always just something else to it. So let me just look into this and okay. They're showing me these two cards, the beauty, right? And so we have all these flowers, and those are the flowers growing, all the pentacles on that bush there. And not, okay, so Metatron's saying that there's an abundance, like it says here, blessings and thanks. It's an abundant universe. So now that you've grown this big, beautiful bouquet, and you have this gorgeous crop of abundance, pentacles is money, and earthly possessions, all the food in the world that you want. It was 11:11 at that point too. So I'm getting two messages. One is somebody's being a little bit stingy. They have worked really hard and created this abundance, but now they won't eat their cake. They're like, I just like looking at my cake. And unless you're my parents when they got married, that was the most disappointing cake of my life. So they got this royal icing, and it hardened too much on it that when they I thought they were just messing around. So I was like 3 when they got married. And then there's pictures of me like, are we gonna cut the freaking cake already? And the sad story of it is the cake never got cut. It was uncuttable. Nobody got cake. So Metatron's telling you, don't be stingy. Now is time to enjoy the abundance, right? If you're a person who penny pinches and saves and saves and saves, you have to spend in order to get, right? Like if everyone just held on to what they had, we need that circulation and cycle throughout society. Like the more money that goes through more people's hands, even that same dollar, the more it like drives up the economy, right? And so if you're just holding on to your savings, and it could stem from past childhood things, right? Or, I know when I was caregiving for the elderly, a lot of them grew up right after the war. And so they had nothing. So when they got food and stuff, they like hoarded it. I dealt with that quite a few cases. So one of the messages for pile 1, if it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. But if it does, just remember you have to give in order to get. And so the more and more you let things flow, and the more and more you cycle that around, the abundance, and share with others. Now, I'm not saying don't give to someone who's a needy bugger who's just going to take and leave you with nothing. Metatron would not leave you like that. This is saying the more that you share, the more that you express your love and share your abundance with others, the more and more that this crop is going to grow times 100. So I'm seeing a flower bouquet. Which ones? Petunias. You pluck, like, right, you deadhead them, 2 grow in its spot. So if you want this vibrant, huge bouquet like she's got rocking in her hair, you gotta take some. Like, you gotta, I don't know, I'm seeing this and it's like, how do you even know if that bread is good? Well, at the beginning, I was like happy for that stale bread. Like, yes, I got a piece of bread. But now I'm seeing someone with like this homemade like loaf and it smells so good, but they won't eat it. And I'm like, eat the food, eat the cake. You did so much work. You created this cake. You got all the ingredients. You grew the wheat. You ground it. You baked it. You had the eggs. You did so much work for this cake to exist. And now it's just sitting there and it's only allowed to be pretty. And that's nothing. That's so pointless. For the story of my parents' wedding cake that never got cut, they thought, well, you can't get it, so they saved it and they put it on display. But the inside went rotten. So one day there was this smell, and we didn't know where it was coming from, but the inside of the royal icing was so hard, but the cake inside is real. Like, everything has a cycle. So dang it, if we didn't eat that cake, we wouldn't have had to deal with that rotten. So that's a message for someone. And I said there was 2 messages, but I went so much into that I can't remember the second one. Bring it back, bring it back. It's not meant to be. If it was, it would pop up. But the message of this is, self-confident, passion, restless. You did all this. Now you get to enjoy. Now you get to sit back and be grateful. Now you enjoy the abundance. Now you're able to share with so many people. I already said my second example. It's the one with the deadheading and how to grow. Whereas the other one was just holding on to it. If you actually do it and share, then it grows and multiplies. So really it was 2 shoved into 1. And so that's the message I'm getting for that. Let's see what this has to do. Let's bring this stone into the reading a bit more as well. Gratitude. It's telling, because I said there's a little heart on here, and the topaz is all about clearing, and the blue is about throat chakra. So it's about singing your gratitude. So thank you. I'm going to say some gratitude to you guys right now. Thank you for tuning into this reading. And if you made it to the end, I appreciate it so much, because this is my passion and how I get to share. And so it means the world to me. And thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, from the top up and out, I hope you feel it. And so if this resonated with you, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button. And if you like pick a card readings, hit the subscribe. I've got a couple more coming up soon. And I do other kinds of readings as well. So we got options for everyone. So thank you, Pile 1. Stay abundant, eat your cake, go out and dance, go have fun. You worked really hard. Now it's really time to play and to share and to bring others in on your feast. And have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. Hey, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading from what message does Archangel Metatron have to share with you? And so we got your card, and you chose the rose quartz. And so the card, what do I do? I'm just going to read the card first, and then the stone. So you've got ancestors with appreciation and healing. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Oh, I'm just getting bombarded with so much love right now. And when I find, ooh, yeah, so much love for you, Pile 2. And so what I'm getting, what I thought was very interesting is, so you chose the rose quartz, the tiny little heart. And the card that you chose with the ancestors has a lot of pink on it. And so this message, like here we got them holding babies and like just elderly. And like, so for those of Pile 2 who have lost someone, the message from Archangel Metatron is that nothing is ever gone, right? The only thing that happens is that energy changes. Right? So now they're not in physical form, but their energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes forms. So this is a message for someone who's feeling very sad and missing someone on the physical, like they're still here. And the message was appreciation and healing. And that's what I'm really getting, is just so much love. So that would be the appreciation. Healing from what? I'm not quite sure. We'll see what the other cards have to go through. But then again, this is a general reading. So I just want to say, when something, if it resonates, like wonderful. But if it doesn't, there's so many people watching these readings, and little bits are for someone, or maybe, right, if you want a personal reading, like hit me up and we'll be all you. But, don't make things fit that don't fit. And I don't know why I'm saying that in this one, and I didn't say in the last one, but I do get touchy subjects that some people have dealt with, losses that are maybe triggering for some people who've lost a little baby and things like that. That's the sensitive area that I'm kind of seeing. Oh, they're just really wrapping me with so much love right now. Oh my gosh, and somebody's little spirit baby is here right now. And it's very beautiful. But let's let's go get the message. We'll see what the other cards are. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the very first card that I'm sorry guys. Oh, I'm picking up on a little baby, and they're just like, I'm here, and like, don't be sad, Mom. And I don't have kids. So I really hope this message finds who it is meant for. Oh, dang it. How am I going to talk when I'm crying and I'm sick? All right. Just calm myself and we'll just get through this one, guys. Don't be sad, Mom. That's what I heard. Because when this card came out, the star, I did hear a little bit of Madonna's song, "You're my lucky star." Oh, I butchered that. I think that's Madonna. But they're saying, I'm your shining light now. Like, I'm seeing someone talk to them in the sky. And I think that this mom knows that they're still there because they're still talking to them. And the card that just really got me was just the little kids. Just the little kids with the innocence. And that's what I'm getting, is just this really pure, innocent energy coming through. And so not everybody has lost a kid. So this is just a part of a reading. Don't worry. We'll make this, we'll get around. But first off, just this little baby is coming through, and Metatron's there with them. I said him, but when I first got it, I was picking up on a girl energy. And now I'm sadder because now I know that there's multiple babies and energies. But he's showing me with them. He's with them and he's taking care of them. And they're happy. They are happy and they're guiding you. Oh, that's just so pretty. And it says that they are actually part of your guardian angels now. What a beautiful message. Okay. So we shared that. We're going to let that message get to who needs to get that. It made me tear up. I hope you find that message. But let's get into, right, because on this card, there's a lot of passed over loved ones. There's elderly, and it's all going to the light and the heart. Okay. So it says, look to the future with, okay, so we're going to go back to the star and actually go into the card. So it says, look to the future with hope and optimism, every power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. And so, pile 2, I'm getting a heavy heart kind of feeling, right? And the part that stood out was happy changes that bring relief, right? That knowing that it's okay to, I feel like maybe something bad happened, and for pile 2, and you've been carrying this burden, like you're punishing yourself or holding this feeling that you're not meant to carry, and your ancestors are there with you, like, let us take this. Like, this was not yours to carry. So it may have come down from generation to generation, and it may have ended up this feeling or situation that you had to deal with was not because of your choices. It was from maybe even, I'm getting past like great grandmothers and stuff. Like it is just trickled down to you. And so it's saying it's okay for you to like give that to them, and to have that feeling that, oh, see, just as I did that, I felt spirit go right down my back, just kind of like rake down my back, all this energy, and they took it. So I'm a little bit of an empath and I feel into things. I was feeling that. So I know this isn't my reading, mine, but so I started to feel these people's and they just went and they took it all. So it's saying that you're allowed to be a shining star, that you've got all these ancestors, and it's time to heal and let go of that feeling that was previously put on you, or that you, okay, remember at the beginning when I said don't force something that's not yours, and if it resonate and stuff, I feel like you saw this shoe and you're like, I need this to fit, and you shoved your foot into this shoe, and you like forced a situation that just really wasn't yours. And so I didn't give that disclaimer on the other ones for some reason, but I feel like you are trying to, you know, maybe you guys are like firstborn, right? The firstborns tend to be the ones that take all the responsibility. And so that's the kind of energy I get, is like that you're the responsible one. You're the one who thinks that you're the only one who can deal with all this. But that's not true, right? So over here we have Queen of Summer, and it says loving, comforting, emotional, and intuitive. It says listen to your heart. Intuitive insights you can trust. Taking care of others, perhaps too much. And I feel like that's exactly what I just said, is that you've taken on these things that aren't yours and too much. And I do feel this, like, listen to your heart. You picked the heart one. And your heart doesn't want to feel this way. It wants to, I want to break free. I want to break free. That's what I'm hearing. So let's get into the cards. Who we got here? We've got the King of Cups, but it was in reverse. And he kind of looks like a salty, salty dude. I don't know. Normally, the cups, the King of Cups, is like, look at his face. I never know where the camera is to show. But yeah, normally like in charge of his emotions. But I feel like you've taken on so many burdens that you're kind of resentful to some things that normally you wouldn't care about, right? But I just see you being overburdened, and it's like, well, why do they get to go have fun? Like, why am I the one that has to stay home and babysit all the kids and all this? Like, where's my youth? Where's my time to go out and play? Why have I never had that moment where I just got to only care for myself? And it's saying, if that's the kind of feeling that you've been feeling lately, listen to it, because that inner dialogue is there for a reason. And if you haven't been having that feeling, what feelings have been coming up for you? Now what I'm seeing in the background is there's a little ship right over there. And then there's a dolphin on this side. And so I don't feel like your emotions get to flow and be the way that they want to be, right? It's not quite free flowing, and dolphins are so much playful energy, right? Like, they're so intelligent, but they make time for play, and they do things like that as well, and they have the community. So remember to take care of yourself, because if you're taking care of everyone else, who's taking care of you? You gotta take care of you. You're the boss of you, and they're the boss of themselves. And if it is something that you can't let go of that responsibility, share it with others, especially all your guides and ancestors. There's some healing that needs to happen, pile 2. And right, I see very much split from viewers. There's those who have lost others, and for some reason they won't go and enjoy things because they're missing their loved ones. And it's saying, we're your guardian angels. Like, we are with you. Go out and have fun, right? We want to see you have fun. We don't want to see you depressed and sad and crying over us and punishing yourself. Like, it doesn't make sense to continue to punish yourself when the actions have happened. Nobody else is punishing you, but I feel like pile 2 is very much, they punish themselves a lot. And then there's the other half who didn't lose someone, but they have so much burden and responsibility. And in both of these cases, I just don't see that happy And so it's saying, listen to your heart, because your heart wants to be happy. It doesn't want to feel constraint. It doesn't want rules and all these things placed upon it. And so next we have is the wheel. And the wheel is about change. And so it's just knowing that cycles happen, right? As the seasons, right? In the spring, everything starts to grow. Summer, it flourishes. And then by the fall, we have to like harvest it. And then the winter, we let things rest. And so know what cycle that you're in. And yeah, when you try to fight a cycle, that's where like real disease comes from. Like that. So this is Metatron's message, and he's the one that controls the energies and everything and the flow. And you can just imagine a gold light. But here he is trying to like let things flow, and you're like trying to reverse his energy. And it's like, he's like, you can't. This energy is your past ones in energy form. No matter how much you reverse it or whatever you're trying to do, you can't go back that way. This is not a Benjamin Button situation, but what is here and present right now is you. And we need you to step into this queen. This is the Queen of Cups. You got the Queen of Cups and you got the King of Cups. And so the King of Cups was in reverse. And it's a little bit salty because it's like, I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not happy. I want to go do this. I want to break free. And then the Queen of Cups, just look how happy, like she's got all this going on around her. There's tons going on. But what stands out in this card, is there's so much help. There's all these like little fairies, because this is the fairy deck. But that's your ancestors in place. So all these things that you have going on, if it's too much, ask for divine help and guidance. Your ancestors are so there, right? They're ready. They're like, let's do this. All right, we got a little shift. It was a little emotional from those ancestors too, but that's just kind of how it has to be. Remember the happy times, right? When you get trapped in the mundane things and the fact that you're doing too much, remember the joy, remember the love. When you're starting to miss passed over loved ones, if that's your case in this reading, the more you hold on to that love, like just remember the happiest moment and hold that in your body. Hold it. And then breathe and release. And just keep doing that. And those little things are really going to help your heart open up. Because I promise you that they're not here in the physical, but they are here in other ways. And if your heart is too focused on whatever you're constricting, you're going to miss the really cool signs and synchronicities. There's just magical moments from spirit that is going to blow your mind from your passed over loved ones. All right, Metatron, let's wrap this up. So this one said to listen to your heart. You picked the heart, and here she's standing there and she's holding her heart. And we got the red kind of out here. And okay, that just goes with what I just said. But here in the top corner, she's kind of looking within, and she's like, you know, like picking the flower apart. And as I'm doing that, I'm getting a headache actually. Boom, 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 boom. It's focusing on the sadness. But here she's kind of opened up. And even if you're feeling like that, just literally doing little motions, like opening your heart. Just stand there. And tell your guides, tell your ancestors, I need help. I need healing. I don't know what to do, or I know what I want, and this is right. Like, whatever you communicate and talk to them, let them know, let them help you. There's a lot of heart healing going on in here, and it's time to find that innocence and that love and that joy again, right? These two cards belong together. The happy and the Queen of Cups and the emotional. Like, I'm getting lots of love. I'm getting lots of child energy. I'm getting change. I'm getting healing, and I'm getting tons of support from everyone, from Metatron and your ancestors. And so, pile 2, that's your message for today. And if it resonated with you, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, or even better, send a comment down below and let me know something cool that I picked up on the story that you feel like sharing. I love getting feedback. And so, enjoy the rest of your day. Open heart, open mind, and let your ancestors help. Bye, guys. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Aqua Aura, and no, it's not Aqua Aura, it's Sea Foam Aura. Either way, it's Mystic Mermaid vibes. That's what I'm getting. No, but what is really cool about this stone is that this is a quartz. Do I have quartz? Nope, they're in my next reading pile to come up. So this is a piece of quartz. And what they do is they take precious metals from like gold, cobalt, titanium, platinum, all these things, and whatever combination they put in this chamber. So it's a very high pressure chamber that it goes into, and all the colors infuse into it. And so it's not just a coating that's on the outside, it's infused into the crystal. So you could scratch it off and it's still going to be, it's alchemy, right? So that's what I'm getting for pile 3, is that you guys are going through a high pressured alchemy transformation. And I just want to show you something that's really cool. It may have been like a defect maybe to some people, but to me, I'm like, wow, that's my favorite part. I don't know if you could see it, but there's like a little grid on it. Yeah, there we go. It's picking up. We got the little blue squares. And so that's my favorite part of it. And we got a lot of Lemurian lines and hidden knowledge within this. So let's hold on to this as we do our reading and get our channeled message from Metatron on what kind of alchemy he wants to talk to us about. So your card from Metatron's deck, there's Metatron's cube, but it is, sorry, not a good start, but it says codependency and the key to freedom. So I am so happy that you are alchemizing this codependent situation, because when you look at it, right, these trees, they're embracing at the top, but when you look at the roots, it's like they're locked. It's like they don't have their own space to be themselves. Right? The branches really wanted to grow like this, but instead they're like this. And so you're meant to break free, and that's what we're changing, alchemy. Yeah. It's very hard to recognize sometimes when you're in a codependent relationship. And it's hard to tell someone who's in a codependent relationship that they're in a codependent relationship. I told someone in the summer that they were, that's what came up, and they're like, I'm not codependent, you're codependent, you don't know nothing about me. And I was like, okay, like, And then so I just had to let that person go off and do their own thing, and unfortunately they didn't go down a good path. And so you guys, maybe there might be some tendencies that are codependent in your life right now, but it's recognizing them and knowing that it's time to break free of those, because it's just so many tiny things that you might overlook. So let's just pull our cards for now and see what the rest of the message is. So the first card right out off the bat is the Empress card. And what I think is interesting is that there's these two little babies sleeping in a pea pod, right? So it may have been at one time that you guys were two peas in a pod. Whatever situation that Metatron would like to work and alchemize from you, you guys were two peas in a pod. This might have, you might be twins, but I'm feeling that you just met someone who was like your twin or your soul sister, or you guys were just so similar that it was just so easy that everything you did just kind of went side and side, and so you grew very close, right? But it didn't actually be beneficial in the long run to give you the space that you needed. So the next card out was Eight of Spring, and it says stress that comes from having too many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. But that was in reverse. So what does that mean? Stress that comes, okay, so I feel like that there's things that you were meant to deal with on your own, and it was pretty stressful, and you had to multitask and you had to do all these things. But this person is always like, don't worry, let me help you. Don't worry, I got you. Don't worry. And they took every opportunity for you to grow and evolve. And you kind of kept, right? It's just you kind of stay in the same place, because I see you sharing this responsibility with this person, and it seems like it could be like, oh, so thank you, like I appreciate this so much. But what you might not know is that these lessons were meant for you to go through so that you could do some soul searching, some digging, right? Because you are two peas in a pod, but there's much more to you that still needs to be unearthed, untapped. And there's parts of themselves that they need to go discover. But when you guys are kind of all together, it's getting really tangled, and that you don't get to go into this depth. And in this depth is where secret talents and ancient wisdom and the things that only you can bring to surface. And so, it's like a mother and a child, and the child's always getting in trouble, and the mom just always fixes it and fixes it and fixes it. But the kid never learns to take responsibility for themselves. That's kind of the energy of what this is. Like this kid the mom needs to let the kid crash and burn. I know that sucks to watch someone, but I'm feeling like if you are the one who's helping others, you've already gone through this lesson and you got that life skill. And now you're helping others, but you're denying them from learning that life skill that you have. And now they're becoming very dependent on you to always do this. And maybe at the beginning you were so willing to do it, but if you are starting to burn out and you're tired and now it becomes a burden, like, oh, okay, come on, let's go. Or they learned the life skill and they're keeping you under their thumb where you're dependent on them and you aren't developing your own skills. And so it's always saying, go within and empower yourself, because you're an empress. An empress, they've mastered everything. And so the Empress was upright. So as I said, there's this alchemy, there's the key, there's I don't know if this is what you've gone through or what you're going through, but just know, just witnessing that you're codependent in an area will definitely lessen the grip, you know. And then once it's loose and you can see, you're like, oh, okay, yes, and then you'll know what to do. So let's look at the other cards. I got a lot from just those ones, and so we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is not in the Hanged Man is in reverse. So normally he should be upside down because he chose to have a new perspective. But this one is still upright. And so he's not really changed his perspective at all. So how does that tie into it? I keep getting that you want change. You want to change in perspective. You're ready to grow. You're ready to try something new. And I get that with this, the Seven of Swords, right? It's just like getting so tired of some things and packing up all your belongings. You're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's left 2. So somewhere along the lines, right, because 2 is partnership and 5 is like conflict and chaos. Somewhere along this journey with these peas in the pod and the person that kind of came codependent, it became like almost like a, maybe starting to resent each other or something, right? Because there's this desire to grow, a desire to do what you want. And I see now that there's now battle and conflict within this relationship. Whereas before it was very happy and healthy and you guys were twins. And then, you know, I'm helping you. Oh, this is great. But now it's become a burden. Now I see people kind of just looking at each other and like snapping and being very short with them. Snapping, when I said the word snapping and I looked up, it was 11:11 on the phone. So I feel like you're ready to snap out of it. Snap out of it. Because I'm seeing that a part of things have now become more of a charade, or, you know, a play, or, you know, putting on a face for the public, but behind closed doors is different. Stress that comes from having too many things happening at once, successful multitasking, and sudden events or changes in reverse, too much. I feel like actually like there's nothing going on. It's like everything is just always taken from you, that you don't have anything. When everybody keeps taking all your problems or things like that, you don't get to learn. You just aren't learning. And I think that that's it, is like, what can I do? And it's like, just sit there and be pretty. Well, I don't want to sit here and just be pretty. Like, I want to go out and I want to make a mess and I want to clean it up, and then I want to recreate, and then I want to put more paint over it and change it and then add glitter and do whatever I want. I want to try, right? And I think that's it, is like, you don't get to try. So here we had playfulness, and it was in reverse. And so, what's this one as well? Intention, but it also was in reverse. So let's just get a little bit more of a message from that. Okay, Metatron, how I just keep seeing you want to go I see you want to go play and do things and, you know, create your own intention and go for something. Like, I don't know, I see someone, for some reason I'm picking up on someone who wants to go to college, but this college is far away. And so Spirit's saying, yes. Yes, like, go for your goals, go for your dreams. Because once you get there, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to get to play. But where you are right now, I just feel like you're really under someone's thumb, and they choose what you do and say and think and feel. I don't know how that's possible, because you're the only one in charge of how you feel. But I'm really picking up that somebody is very controlling of how someone else feels. And so I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like when you're happy, they're like, don't be happy. And you're like, okay, you know. All right, Metatron, we've picked up on so many instances, but how do we unlock it? How do we get the key? And so the key is right in front of you. That's all he's telling me. It's right in front of you. What does that mean? The key is right in front of you. It's just saying take a step forward, right? It's like if you see like this door and you don't know what's on the other side, like you'll never know until you take that step, that leap of faith. But how do you unlock from the other person? You do need to distance yourself. So you do need to walk through that door. Do you need to shut the door? I heard no, but you need to walk through the door. You need to go to your own space, your own place. You need to go start living your own adventure and learning your soul's lessons. Because it's so great that you had these two peas in a pod kind of vibe with someone, but you were meant to have grown up to here by now, but you're still stuck here. And so you need to do that much growing. And the only way you can do that is by going out and playing and making a mess and choosing your own decisions and living your own life and following your own intention. Make a plan. That's what I do. I make plans and then I don't tell anyone. And then because when I was younger, you know, I would tell my family stuff, but they kind of were the voice of reason. But what they didn't know is that they were only putting doubt in my head and that they were kind of crushing my dreams with their doubts. And so at this point in the game, I'm getting make a plan, have your own intentions, and follow them. Go forward. That's literally the only way out of this codependent, toxic cycle. And I see that you leave the door open and then you can come back, or they could come with you. Because both of these trees don't have enough, they just don't have enough room to grow and right? They could have covered so much more surface area and provided so much shade and shelter for the world, but instead they're really encroaching on each other's space. They're taking up each other's oxygen and by looking at it, right, it's starting to actually fail. It's starting to get sick and lose its leaves. So if you are having health problems, you know, because you are not listening to your soul's calling, you know, maybe they're like, hey, you need to work, you need to do this, but it's not something that your soul is meant to do. Right? There's one book that I read, and it just made so much sense to me. But it was called the 5 Dharmas. And Dharma is your life purpose, right? And so if you don't live your Dharma, then you have to play out your karma. And there, in this book, there was 5 roles to everyone. And so if you're, what was it? There was the educator, there was the warrior, the merchant, the laborer, and the outsider. So if you are an educator, but you are being forced to be put in the merchant role or the labor role, that crushes your soul, that de-evolves you, that creates karma. It doesn't fulfill your dharma. And so in order for an educator to feel like doing their purpose is to, it's a circle, it's a cycle. So each one takes care of the next one, right? And so the educator is to create plans and things like that for the laborers, to make systems easier for them. And then the laborers build things, and then the merchants sell it, and then the warriors, they're about protecting, and they protect, like, it's just a circle and a cycle. And I forget who wrote it, but I love that book. It stuck with me so much. So maybe if you feel called to read it, I recommend The 5 Dharmas. It was by Simon something, I think. It's a red book, red and black. Sorry. I'm like looking at my bookshelf over there, and there's just hundreds, and there's no way I can dig through that because I know there's boxes and boxes downstairs. But I always tell everyone that that's a book that changed me and helped me let go of codependent cycles that I knew weren't good for me, and to follow my own intentions. And, you know, I had to pack up sometimes at jobs because I knew now that it was now starting to harm me. And I was seeing clear, right? Hanged Man is to see a new perspective. You're seeing a perfect perspective. You know what to do. You know how to do it. You just have to go forward and follow your dreams. Your dreams. And don't let anyone persuade those dreams. All right, Pile 3. If this reading resonated with you, can you please hit the like button? And if I said something in here that you were like, whoa, like I have such a cool synchronistic story about that, please share. I love stories. I love the feedback. And yeah, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that you alchemize this trapped, stagnant energy into empowerment, because there's just so much growth for you to learn right now. And that's what Metatron is trying to show you. He's like, I've been giving you all these ideas and these insights, and I just need you to step through the door, right? The key's in front of you. Pick it up and unlock it. All right. Bye, Pile 3. Have a wonderful day.